Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Through Thick and Thin with Ruthless and me. I am Philomena. We want to discuss the assault on First Amendment rights vis-a-vis the current administration, Donald Trump. I'd like to bring to our vast audience's attention the plight of Kathy Griffith, who I recently saw in Radio City. I saw her in Carnegie Hall. She also played Radio City, and she discussed how she was under interrogation by Homeland Security, how Mr. Trump and his son Donald Jr. had went after her on Twitter, that she got threatened, that shows were canceled, and that Donald Jr. at least said that it was his aim to make sure that she didn't work again. And the president said how her depiction of a dummy head with ketchup at the bottom on a platter had so upset his son Barron. By the way, how crazy is it that the president of the United States' son's name is Barron? I mean, you can't get that much more aristocratic than Barron. He could have named him King, but then everyone would call him
Well, is Barron spelled like an empty, something empty, like barren? Like, if you can, is it, or Barron as in part of the aristocracy?
The aristocracy, also known as the aristocracy, yes. Okay, so he named his kid Barron, but he decided that he should be a president of the greatest democracy, and there were people stupid enough to vote for a man who calls his kid Barron. But putting that aside for the moment, I want to get back to the First Amendment. So Kathy Griffith posted this photo of a decapitated dummy head that resembled Trump. By the way, Snoop Dogg shot a Trump imposter with a toy gun in the video, but that was cool. So they went after her. She was interrogated.
So
she had
they
to get a
didn't go
lawyer.
after Snoop.
No, Snoop Dogg got a good walker. He got a pass on that one, which
So
is
do
the
you
right
think
thing to
it
do.
was? Do you think it was because Kathy is viewed as vulnerable as a female, and that Snoop is viewed
As a
as
gangsta?
a black male, and does that have something to do with it?
Well, he's definitely pretty anti-female. I mean, it was the grabbing of the parts on the Access Hollywood tape, right? It was Megyn Kelly or whatever her name is, bleeding from wherever. I mean, he's got some issues
With women.
Yeah. This one's a fat slob, and now, I mean, Chris Christie is the size of a fucking Goodyear blimp, but he doesn't say shit about that. I mean, Chris is maybe once in a blue moon, I think I heard him once say about going on a diet. But I mean, with these other women, it's constant. It's unrelenting. So, I'd say he has problems with women. What is this, wifey number 3? Baby, and and then the Stormy thing, and then the other one. I mean, he's got some issues there, I'd say. It's pretty bad.
Women are disposable.
There's problems there. There's real relationship
You have a
problems.
problem, you get rid of it, you get a new one.
There's all kinds of problems. There's appetite problems. There's self-control problems. I mean, he's getting sued for rape. Women say they were assaulted by him. He's part of the Me Too movement. Don't ask me how he's in the White House, but he's part of the Me Too movement. But getting back to the First Amendment, by President Trump having Homeland Security and the Department of Justice, even or the FBI interrogate Kathy Griffin, is a frigging waste of my taxpayer money. She was never a viable threat to the president. I mean, she is a ridiculous comic. It was a joke. She didn't have a hatchet anywhere. Was she walking around with a guillotine? It's ridiculous. It's a violation of the First Amendment. So this is my idea. I believe that it would be wonderful if somebody was to bring suit as Ms. Griffith's lawyer. Maybe she could even do it pro se if the ACLU isn't willing to look into this. To ask that her being part of Interpol's no-fly list and anything else be removed immediately because she poses no international terrorist risk. And to treat her like a criminal is to politicize the executive branch of government and to criminalize free speech. And that is fundamentally un-American from the president who hooks the flag. Just saying. Put it out there. What do you think?
What do you mean by humping the flag?
Have you ever seen him with the flag and he hugs it? It's like, oh, I love your flag. Oh, you're a great flag. I love the flag. Even though he was a draft dodge, I think, like 4 times.
I don't know.
4 times.
How do you get out of it?
He got medical deferments. He said, like, he was 4F.
So what was...
Either that or college. He got college, and then he got physical deferments during the Vietnam War. He avoided serving.
So do you know what the health issue was?
I think his feet.
His feet.
I mean, something kind of minor.
If you have flat feet, you could get out of serving?
I don't know. I would have to ask Google. Let me inquire. But he never served. And,
But he did go to military high school.
Yeah, but that's not like from the military. It's a private school that says it's a military school.
So military school will accept somebody with bad feet.
Yeah, if they have the right tuition. Damn straight.
So I just don't want to mislead our audience. But if you want to go to military school, it's okay if something's wrong with your feet.
Yeah, you could go to military school, but then you could submit doctor's notes to get out of actually serving. So your family could put a misbehaving child in the structured military school, because it's not from the military, it's just a private school.
Okay. Doesn't this country have a history of if you were drafted and you could get somebody, if you could pay somebody to take your place, they would take your place. So don't we have a history of it's very easy to get out if you've got some kind of influence or money?
Well, I know that a great uncle of mine actually, this is the family story, he actually did time for somebody else. They paid him to do their jail time.
Yes, so we have a history if you could afford to have somebody else take your place in the war. So, I guess this is a modern day thing. If you have, maybe he really does have a foot problem.
Well,
but I now wonder, what is our president's foot problem? Because he certainly still won the election, even if he does have a foot problem. And it wouldn't be something like mine or like athlete's feet.
It can't be something.
But athlete's feet, isn't it contagious? Would you want somebody in the military with athlete's feet?
My father had athlete's foot, and he did 2 tours of service in the Army. And
While he had
yes, completely afflicted. And he also had hemorrhoids.
But don't you say, how much sitting do you do? How much sitting do you do?
They sent him to be a dentist in the Army. So he had athlete's foot.
Your father
hemorrhoids
got his
and varicose veins
while
while he served in the Army. I like them apples. But somehow Mr. Trump was too incapacitated to be in the Army?
Who knows? I'll Google, I'll find out what it was, if it was his feet, and what was wrong with our president's feet. Because now I'm curious. Okay, so we got to wind up. We got to go. We got to wind up. In closing, Kathy Griffith represents the possibilities of what a woman could become. A woman who could become a voice for
gay men and women. Gay men and women.
For gay men.
She's very popular. Yes. She speaks for us. And I also want to say that I would just love it if somebody else would sue Donald Trump and his administration. And I think that somebody defending the First Amendment and defending this federal government encroachment on the First Amendment by the persecution of Kathy Griffith is intolerable. Thank you.
Be well. I hope that you see us soon, and perhaps one day we'll meet our fan base.